Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Three Pros and a Podcast.
Everybody, what's happening? What's going on? Welcome to episode number 4. Damn, should I be a rapper? That shit just rhymed.
It was smooth, wasn't it?
That shit was smooth.
It was smooth, yeah.
Episode number 4 of Three Pros
And
and a Pod.
don't rap.
Myself, Michael Jimenez Johnson, Bubba Badman Jenkins. Badman. And
Why guys?
actually, we're white out. We don't have our white co-host, Chas Skelly. He's can't make it tonight. So we have the closest thing we could find, light skin. Greg Jones, and he's kind of white. We'll call him off-white.
No, we're not going to call me
Oreo.
that. We're not going to call me either of those things. Just call me Greg.
But the outfit you got on too, though, you're
Shit.
kind of white.
I'm looking real light-skinned,
Real
huh?
light and white skin.
real
Look at him.
Listen, if that ain't the definition
real
of
light-skinned.
looking
Come on,
light
man.
skinned and
You
being,
look-
being
you-
the Oreo.
You
of the
feel me,
group,
Bubba?
You look like you finna
Yeah.
go to church or something.
You look like you from Miami right now.
Stop playing, man. Slickville, dog. But you know, I
Slickville's
show up with my
finest.
dogs. I gotta look the part, man. You know what I'm saying?
And
Well,
you looking
good.
real fresh.
We appreciate the step in or the sit down and replacing Chaz.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, gentlemen.
Yeah, absolutely. No problems.
You got something to say. You're a legend. You got something to say.
I'll talk some junk.
Man, you talk
But
some
what
junk.
Coach
But-
Prime say, that bull junk. I talk some bull junk.
Before he starts talking his junk, I gotta hear
Nah, man.
what happened. Bubba, you
Bubba!
got me so hyped. You got me so hyped. I was ready. I'm like, man, these two been talking so much shit. Like, did they not fight already? And I'm like scrolling on my phone. I'm like, wait a minute, did I miss it? Like, what the fuck happened?
You still ain't seen the
I
result
still
yet,
ain't
huh?
seen them fight.
I ain't
Like,
seen the result.
What
Huh.
happened?
I
Speak-
showed up
speak
like
on
an
that, sir.
absolute professional, 10 weeks out, ready to go, grinding. My coach, everybody was there. And this dude shows up 3.4 pounds, cut out the mental part of the training, cut out the hardest part of the grind. Decided not to come prepared and decided that with everything on the line, the trilogy, with everything that we was going to go through, like all the shit we've been talking, decided that like, that shit wasn't going to matter, that wasn't a big, like, a thing to me. That shit mattered.
3
Like,
pounds is
taking
not
off-
even trying.
Bro, you know what 3.4 pounds is for the wrestlers? For us people that know the grind, not even wrestlers, more even MMA guys, you know what that last 3.4 is. I'm okay with the last grind. That's when the shit gets sticky at 4.
Yeah.
Shit.
So what?
I woke up 58.9 that morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? We grinded out. But that was for all the marbles. That was one of those loser leave town kind of situation. Like, this is the trilogy. You don't manufacture a trilogy. It's got to happen organically. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be 1-1. You got to have, animosity. It's got to be real. Can't be manufactured. You know what I'm saying? We're completely
Hey, that shit was real, though, Bubba? The animosity was real, dog?
No, this shit was real. Like, I left, bro. I had to leave breakfast at the next morning of the fight. I left breakfast with a plate in my hand, cause for real, like I thought about 3 ways of fucking that nigga up, like straight up.
Wait, he was
Like,
right
like,
next to
What,
you?
you gotta play
That's what
frisbee with the plate or what?
Bro, I was fucking frisbee. I was going to go in with that big. I was gonna put that shit right through his teeth. What you mean frisbee? What you mean?
I want to hear why it didn't happen. I know he was 3 pounds over. Was there I would have smacked him at breakfast or something. If
Bro,
the beef was that heavy, for
everything in me.
sure, he would have got smacked
Everything
at
in me.
breakfast, and then we just would have dealt it out. But
Why is the coach in this conversation? I'm gonna say you made the right choice by not doing
of course
that.
you're gonna say that. You know me. You know me.
So there's a bunch of reasons too. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let me put it all in perspective. So it's not just like, oh, I didn't accept the 3.4. Let me put it all in perspective and give you a scale to weigh it on. You feel me? So this is the last fight on my contract. I'm supposed to have a 3-year deal, but COVID hit, so they said, okay, you got another year. So I'm like, oh, okay, all right, no problem. But I was the number 1 seed until I lost to Pinedo, who didn't make weight. He came in about 2 pounds overweight, but didn't make weight. But I accepted that fight. I didn't really have an option. They didn't really have an alternate, but it's the fucking playoffs. It's do or nothing. So I accepted that fight. He ended up, winning that fight, beating me, and then winning the championship. So he won $1 million this past time. I've made weight 4 times. Pinedo, who's now the champion with the belt, he's made weight 3 times. Nonetheless, I'm up on my contract. It's contract time. I know PFL just got Bellator, so I came in like a professional, did what I was supposed to do. In August, when homie didn't make weight, it was almost like, hey, you got to have this, you got to make it happen. Now I came in professionally. Another situation where homie didn't make weight, and the bad man in me, the fighter in me, the old school Bubba J in me said, all right, we're taking every fight, and I've never turned down a fight in my life. But the professional in me, the businessman in me, the man that says, all right, let's think about the situation. Let's put all the cards on the table. This was a trilogy. This was for all the marbles. This was for everything. And we just gambled on a situation that didn't pay out in our favor. So not only are we now again gambling in the same situation, this is for everything, and it's the last fight on the contract. Plus, I know that this was such a mental warfare that the pressure that I put on that individual, he cracked. I saw him the night before the weigh-ins, and I went in there and I put the treadmill on and I hit the treadmill hard. Boom, 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 right in front of him. Boom, boom, boom. And 5 minutes, 6, 7 minutes after being on the treadmill, he walked out. I'm like, man, he didn't quit then. He quit days before that time when he saw me on the treadmill.
You had to be doing some fucking knees or high knees. That had to be one hell of a treadmill run.
I know what's scared of that treadmill.
Bro, I pounded that treadmill out for 20 minutes. After he left, I roof.
That shit was on like incline 10,
mental
speed
warfare.
12. He's like, I ain't fighting this dude.
All week, so I know the pressure of having to fight me and me doing all the shit that I was doing with him. Like, yeah, man, I put a lot on the line for that, bro. It cost me 6 figures not for that not to happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was more.
So was there ever a point in the negotiation talk where it was, yeah, let's fight. Give me 20, 25, 30% because you came in 3 pounds over and you don't want to cut any weight. Was that ever?
They never asked. They never came to me with that negotiation. They said,
really?
Listen, you're going to take 20% of his purse, which is $8,000.
Yeah.
Which is $8,000, and you're gonna have to fight him. I was like, 1, $8,000 ain't enough. 2, I just accepted a 20% of Pinedo's purse, which was like I don't want to embarrass the man, but it wasn't enough.
Right.
And risking that man is now fighting for $1 million. At the point, I didn't know who was going to win, but now that he's fighting for $1 billion, taking $8,000, 20%, I'm like, y'all can definitely do better than that. And then they basically were saying everything, but yeah, that was it. There was no real negotiation about that. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
But real talk, I love my organization, and I'm excited about future and better things. You know what I'm saying?
I think they're doing a good job. I hope they're poised to kind of take on this new challenge and new roster because we need them as a sport. We need them to be successful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
To that same point,
you don't want these two to crash.
Yeah. To that same point, Bubba, let me ask you a question, and by
the way, PFL didn't do a good job with your fight.
Didn't do
a good job with his fight at all. Like they should have made that happen.
Yeah.
No, they should have made that happen. They should have made you.
You're already there.
They should have made Bubba an offer where he could have accepted the fight.
Wealthy.
You guys, you guys have put, but no, you guys have put so much time into this trilogy fight going on.
Not only that, it's my last fight on my contract. So like, make it happen for me and show me I'm there for the future of the organization. You guys are saying there's a champion versus champion clash. And then I don't know if it's on the undercard of that fight, but on a separate fight card or whatever, it's going to be PFL's best.
Is there like a ranking in PFL?
No, just
bracket,
I was the number 1 seed this year, but it's just every year you get 10 in the bracket and then you go through the bracket and then you get seeded for the bracket. There's no ranking in it.
So are you coming back next year for the tournament?
My contract's up, so you know what I'm saying? We're gonna see because That was the whole thing. My thing was like, treat me like
You were
love
in a
me,
tough
show me
spot,
what's
though.
up.
You're in a tough spot. You weren't in a really a good spot to win with that being the last fight in your contract, too. You know what I mean? You got put in a rough spot there all the way around. And it's
Right,
easy.
so
It's easy to say, fuck it, I'll fight him. I'll fight it. It doesn't matter. But
Which I've done,
very mature. Right.
Which I've done every time before.
Yeah, this
Trust
means you're
me.
growing up, dog.
Check my resume. I have never said no. You feel me?
Let me ask you
Never
this, Bubba.
say never.
This is one of the things that bother me.
I ain't saying that I wouldn't say no.
Because you did. Because you did.
In this situation. This was a straight up power business move.
Yeah. But you know, we have fighters of all levels, and I think you see it more at the like lower regional level scenes. And I'm not saying this is Chris Wade by any means, but I think there's a lack of honor in this sport when it comes in a few things, but most importantly, as it comes pertains to weight cutting.
For sure.
I just don't. It's just not honorable, and it's this guys just like shrug their shoulders and say, "I tried." You know what I mean? And I'll pose the question to both of you guys. What could MMA do to kind of make that better, while still maintaining the health and safety of the athletes?
Yeah. I don't think it's an MMA thing. I think it's a personal fighter thing. You have.
Well, that's MMA because it don't happen in wrestling. It don't happen in wrestling.
That's rule number one in wrestling, right? Make weight.
Yeah, well, yeah, but
Absolutely.
some of these wrestlers might come to MMA and not make weight now. Didn't I mean? Yeah, but what's like Chimaev missed weight quite a bit, right?
That's the thing. Good point too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point too, Bubba. If you don't make weight, you don't wrestle. There's no 20%.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could move up, but not in college, really. You know what I mean?
Not in the bracket, not in the duels, not in some of the tournaments where you gotta in college. A lot of times you can't move up. Maybe
Right.
some open tournaments, but moving up is we gotta someone
But
there.
see, that 20% is just as bad, worse than not
But
wrestling.
20% ain't shit if their contract is bullshit, or 20% ain't enough sometimes to just let these guys slide.
No, not to accept, not to accept to give out, especially if their contract's not shit. I don't want to give out 20% of not shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna make this weight. I'm gonna make the 2-3 pounds. Like, hell no. I want to hold on to my money. Like, why would I just voluntarily?
It should be
give
incentive
you 20%?
enough, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, and maybe that 20% needs to go to 30, 35.
It's not though. Like, let's go.
I've had people turn down fights as high as 50%.
Yeah.
Right. He's saying what it should be, but what it is everybody missing weight. I don't give a fuck everybody ain't got a fat contract because everybody ain't rich in MMA. But you're seeing everybody miss weight all over the place.
What do you think?
So
what do you think? How can we fix it?
There's a fighter that misses weight every fight card.
Pretty much.
Every fight card there's a fighter that misses
I would
weight.
say, not to be nitpicky, but probably 85% of the fight cards. Yeah.
And that's what basically what they were saying. They're like, Bub, I mean, niggas get shot every day.
Yeah, there it is.
I don't think it's a lack of professionalism as it pertains to Chris, but there's a lot of that. There's just a lot of lack of professionalism.
I think you take more of the purse. You start them off down around or something like that. Like that you come in very unprofessional. That means you're not ready for the fight. Like you literally have now gained an advantage in the fight. It ain't about how much bigger.
They say the bigger fighter,
how much bigger he is than me. It's about how much smaller he didn't get.
Right. It's the work. Right. It's the shrinkage.
Extra work.
That's the mental part of it. That's the non-recovery part. That's when you stand up and you get the spots. That's when you're in the hot tub.
Right.
And you don't want to sit there no more. And coach is like, "Nah, sit down." No, you're like, "Nah, man, fuck that." No, coach, sit down. They don't like the sauna on you. That's when it gets deep. That's when it gets real.
They say the heavier fighter, I don't know where I read this at, has a 13% advantage on fight night.
Yeah, I can see that.
But whenever you're talking about small margins with two very quality fighters,
And
that 13%.
Yeah.
If you're off,
the trilogy,
if you're
all
off,
the marbles,
right, and if you're off by 5%, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Not only
You know
that,
what I'm
it
saying?
pissed me off. It pissed me off so much. I was at weigh-ins. They came and told me at weigh-ins, And I'm like, yo, talk about this just happened. How y'all letting people just not make weight around here? So y'all telling me it don't matter to make weight? Like the only time I really gotta make weight.
And sometimes I feel
really
like that's the
doesn't.
message we're sending, though.
Yeah, because it really doesn't to a lot of these
Because it don't matter.
organizations.
Yeah.
I'll give you to win the champ, to get to my $1 million and not have to do the mental part.
There
of
are
the
guys that
weight
get the
part.
6 pounds and be like, and whatever, I'll pay them. For
My
sure.
bad.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And go in, drinking, hydrated, and then come out the next day massive and crush that dude. Because that dude can't recover. That's the end of the second round and the third round that they just
Yeah, it
cut
adds
off.
up, right? It's just physics.
For sure.
It's just physics. Bigger guy makes more force.
But the thing is, nobody knows and nobody cares about when the public goes out there, so check this out. I got 7 losses, right? 5 of those losses, the guy didn't make weight, right? But that's not a big pop. Nobody knows. Nobody gives a fuck about that. Nobody knows how many of those.
Nobody cares about any of that.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, it don't say that on Tapology.
Not
You know what I'm
all,
saying?
Not at all.
It's there forever.
So it's really gotta be. There's gotta be something implemented in the sport where it's understood that you cannot miss weight. That's gotta be a real thing. Especially in my league where it's a tournament-based thing. You know, when niggas don't miss weight, the tournament, they got to get an alternate in. They got to get someone ready.
Or move up.
But my next guy I'm fighting is dropping from welterweight. And he's a kind of a thick welterweight.
We're gonna put a pace on him.
We're gonna put a pace on him. But I'm hoping his retarded ass miss weight. Give me all of your money, all your 25%. I'm taking it all, and I'm gonna make you go run around the corner and try to lose it within the hour
And beat the brakes
Oh,
off
you didn't make the weight? Yeah, 20%.
I said, go lose that. Go lose that and come back. And we'll talk about it. He was like, no, I'm done. What do you mean that's 3.4 pounds? What are you bitching about? Let's go. Let's get the fight on. I saw him at weigh-ins and I said, yo, get your bitch ass on the scale. What are we talking about? This is for everything.
Nah, you make weight, man.
Our families are here. This is Thanksgiving, son.
Nah, his families didn't come. His family didn't come because he wasn't making weight. So he probably told them all to stay back and shit. He's like, don't even waste the trip. I'm not making weight this time.
On Wednesday. On Wednesday.
I spent more to bring people out there than they paid me to be there.
You should have pulled your phone out and recorded them. And put them on blast and recorded them just following those ass around like TMZ.
I like Chris.
I was looking,
I like Chris. That's
by the end of
unfortunate.
it,
I
I was
like
looking
Chris.
for Thomas ass. I was looking to fight his daddy by the end of that shit.
Who?
He finna
Thomas.
fight
His
the
dad was
whole
in my
family.
DMs.
Thomas who?
Wade, his dad was in my DMs.
Your dad's in me DMs.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you this, Bubba. Would you advocate for a same-day weigh-in like wrestling?
I wouldn't, only because it's a different sport. I feel like real professionals get the job done, and you need that one day, that the weeks and weeks of grinding. I mean, I feel like it's a different sport. I think better in wrestling because it's not professional. Yeah, I mean, I guess they got NILs, but I just think it's a different sport, and you need that. You know what I'm saying? When you've done it right and you get that recovery, you get with your team, you get that time to not only eat up, to plan and strategize the last day. I think that last minute weigh-in thing I wouldn't like it at all.
You're talking about from
coming from a wrestling background.
Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah. Well, I'm just as much as the rest of you, and I hate weight cuts. I hate them. Yeah. I don't see the value in them. I don't necessarily think smaller.
You didn't weight cut a lot.
I don't think
and
smaller is better.
Well,
I moved up. I moved up, but I think, and I'm speaking from the standpoint as I watched whenever college wrestling went to a one-day weigh-in, and I think from a health and safety standpoint, I think that perhaps could help eliminate that last crash, that 14, 16-pound crash, because you have to fight in two hours, call it. You know what I mean? So
that's what it was
I don't know.
Supposed to eliminate.
Yeah, I mean, I go back and forth with it. The problem is, if you do that, then someone doesn't make weight, the fight's off. There's no replacement whatsoever. So that's a downside. I don't know. I'm just sick of guys missing weight, and there needs to be a solution to it. That's all.
Yeah, it's bad news. Like you said, in college, you guys said they didn't wrestle. You know, so how much college wrestling you even watch now, Bubba? Who do y'all think is like the best college wrestler
Listen,
right
check
now?
this out, man. I actually was at a college wrestling tournament this week. Arizona State that came to town, and they had the Cliff King. Man, it's crazy that I live across the street from a tournament building that I used to go to constantly, bro. All the time, I used to go to that constantly. So it's wild that now that I'm back there to see nostalgia, like different moments as a grown ass man, areas where I put my singlet back on or traded my shoes, or it's just a different thing now. But I got to watch some of the Arizona State guys. Teamer and Parco finished second and third, and then I saw my man who I kind of mentor, Nate Carr. David Carr, Nate Carr's son. He lost in the semifinals on a wild ass match, but it was fun to go back and watch some wrestling at the Cliff King.
How's my dog Zeke? You talked to Zeke?
Zeke's great, man. Zeke's always looking good.
Was he already there whenever you were there, or you missed him?
No, he came in the year after. Sean Charles was my guy.
Okay. Yep.
Brian Stiff, Sean Charles, Ben Askren.
Yeah. Oh, Askren did spend some time there. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he showed me a couple.
That's funny. Askren went to Mizzou, and I used to go there because all my friends would go in. So we go to these parties, and I drive down, and you see Askren just like at the party, like a house party. And I don't really think he was drinking or nothing, but he had a grill in. And you got to think, this is when he was wrestling at Mizzou. So what year was that?
0304.
Yeah.
It would be 0304, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Maybe.
05 maybe.
Yeah, 05 maybe. And he would walk around with a grill. It's just a straight gold, like the blackest grill you could ever get. Like, the real black motherfuckers that be wearing them, and they just shine. All you can see is the gold on them. Those are the kind he had. And I was like, who the fuck is this boy? And my boy was like wrestling there with him. He's like, bro, that's one of the baddest wrestlers. Like, he's fucking weird and this and that.
It is quirky,
yeah. Quirky, but nobody's gonna come up to him and say nothing because he dropped him on the head. So he's just walking around shining.
For being a straight cowboy thug.
Big Ben, yeah. I wish I had the opportunity to wrestle him. I never. I wish I had the opportunity to compete against him. We were around the same weight class at around the same time, but we never. I wrestled Pendleton, who was kind of his nemesis, but we never get to squad.
It almost happened where me and him almost fought each other.
Of course.
Yeah, no, not like fight in the street, but like fight, because he had just started, like in Colombia. I think like right when he first started fighting. Yeah, but this is way before even Bellator, and then we were gonna fight on a local show. I can't remember why we didn't fight. I tell everybody he was fucking scared of me.
Hey, fuck it, man, ride with that shit. We'll say, hey, I'm good. I got you back on that.
Yeah, all he can do is wrestle. I'm like,
you're right.
Hey, one thing I know about Askren, he might be quirky as hell, but he ain't a coward. He not.
Of course, no,
he's not. He's
My
pretty.
man walk around with no shoes on in public. That brother ain't afraid of nobody.
There's some intelligence behind that quirkiness too. Yeah, the guy's not stupid. He's pretty sharp.
Yeah. A lot of the good wrestlers, a lot of the there's a form of genius behind them. Like,
it's hard to be good and dumb in anything.
You know what I mean? But when you're at a different level, that is like
there's a lot of dumb people that are good.
Genius for the body, physical genius is a different level.
Yeah,
people equate genius to just books.
I think that's across all fields.
This wrestling thing.
We used to joke in college that Zeke Jones is a lot like that. He's a lot like that. He's got a very good, deep, technical mind. I would call him a genius, but. Yeah.
There are people with the
there's
mind
some quirks. There's some quirks that go along with that too, But I think if you look back through time too, Einstein, all those guys were quirky and different.
Hollywood is weird. Hollywood is weird as fuck.
Hollywood.
You know what I'm saying? Hollywood. These motherfuckers. Like when you hang out, look, we all hung out with some good athletes, some famous athletes. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. Some of them might be some weird shit or whatever, but it's cool mostly. And then you hang out with some like celebrities, some like movie stars and shit like that. And it's definitely a lot more weird. I'm here in Vegas, so I get the athletes and then I get the weird ass people, and it's way more weird on chilling with celebrities in Hollywood. It's like, yo,
Hey, you was at P Diddy's
bro,
house.
you know
wasn't
people
you?
are watching your ass. Like, what are you doing?
You was at
way more
Puffy's
weird.
house. Don't lie.
You was hanging with Puffy.
Take that.
Look, see, I told you he's hanging with Puffy.
But no, one thing about the wrestling tournament that I guess bothered me, you were saying about the crash. I would say, there's a lot of scrambling, like you said, but
Too much.
The shot selection, like the ability, the want to shoot more shots isn't there. Like in our generation, more people were looking to tech fall and more people were looking to put the points up. I would say like it's very slow. The points
Even
are now
with,
3 points.
even with the 3-point takedown, you're seeing some of that's interesting.
It's 3 points
Yeah,
for a takedown.
it was
now?
like
Damn.
I didn't see, when
Well, we have some
I
fun
can
then. We
remember-
have some fun on that, Bubba.
Why
We have some fun with that rule set, dog.
Why is it like nowadays they're making everything like easier or
they're trying to make it more fan friendly.
It's like I think like everybody's getting soft.
Yeah, that's it, Bubba.
Everybody's getting soft. Like, oh no, we're gonna give you guys one more point for something. Oh, it's okay. You're bitching about two. Here's another point.
Well, flip that. Flip that. You're making it harder on someone. If you ain't no good on your feet, you're making it harder on him. So that can go either way. But the thing is too is I work my butt off and get a takedown. I get 2 points. You escape. You get 1. I do that twice in the first period. It's 4-2. You're a takedown away from tying the match.
Yeah. Is it still 1 point for a get up?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just only 3 points for a takedown now.
Right.
Yeah, really.
There's some others.
Who's the best in the game in wrestling right now?
Aaron Brooks.
The kid from, is he Oklahoma State?
No, he's a Penn State kid. He's one of my boys. He's one of my young boys that when I was out there.
Is this the light-skinned dude with the long
No,
you're
thinking Starachi.
Yeah.
Is it Staraki or Starachi?
They're there too.
Well, take your biasness out of this since he's your boy.
Okay. But listen, every year he's went up and every year he's won a national championship.
No.
And I think he's got more national championships than he has losses.
Oh, so yeah, light-skinned. I mean, yeah.
Oh boy, no, he can go.
Where is he? Penn State?
Yeah, he's at Penn State. I'm surprised he's at 97 this year.
Where's he from initially? Jersey?
He's from Pennsylvania.
Where? Can you got that? You got that?
Like Allentown, Scranton, some shit like that.
Yeah, D11.
Sure. I did a camp for his dad when he was like real young.
Yeah.
He got some little brothers and shit.
So you think he's the best? Who you think is the best in the game, G?
I don't know. I don't even
attention?
track it that hard. He mentioned David Carr. I have somewhat emotional connection with the Carr family. If you meet Nate Carr, Senior, you would understand why. He coached my older brother, and I kind of spent some time on the mat with him.
What's the huge difference? And I know a little bit, but I just want to get y'all take on it from the wrestling we see international versus the wrestling we've been taught in high school at folk style against
Control.
Yeah, so we're taught folk style over here, right? Correct?
Yep.
And they just do freestyle overseas.
Everywhere else.
Everywhere else they do freestyle. Why is that? Is it because it's easier?
Hey, Bubba.
No. That's because America don't.
Why did we invent our own style of wrestling?
America don't give a fuck about nothing. We want our own metric system. We want our own money. Like we don't care about nobody else's shit. Y'all gonna do it our way.
I don't know the start of it.
So pretty much like that. America's like, no, we'll create our own.
I would. Probably not much different.
We'll call it folk style or collegiate style, which none of you other motherfuckers have. NCAA college.
Yeah. Which is better?
I would say.
Do you think listen,
athlete,
you keep asking me for what, so I'm gonna tell you for.
It's much better for the athlete, right?
I think it's easier for folk style to adjust the freestyle than it is for
That's what
freestyle
I'm
to
asking.
adjust the folk style.
Do you think it's easier for them to come over and wrestle in college?
No.
Or you think some of these college kids would go over there and wrestle?
Too much groundwork.
Yeah.
Too much groundwork.
Okay.
I would make the argument, Bubba, every year or after every World Championship or Olympic Games, they talk about the U.S. just needs to go to freestyle full time, right? I would argue I would argue our folk style base gives us an advantage in certain situations, not only from a intensity and a gas tank standpoint of wrestling 7 minutes hard, but you got fools in freestyle pinning people in arm bars and cradles now. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Not only that, they better check their resume because USA has been the best team in the nation for the last, I'm venturing to say maybe 4 years. We own their ass, and we know for a fact we don't
freestyle?
do that. We're in folk style all year round.
International, so we're still beating them at their own game.
And we're still beating them, and they know that.
Game,
they know we do a certain style, and then we get to college, and we go a little both way, and then we, because that's, you have to wrestle.
So without being biased, y'all are
college.
saying the American wrestler superior
Is the best
than
wrestler.
the best wrestler.
Perhaps.
More,
No.
I guess he's more. He could do
no
more.
bias aside, the American wrestler is the best wrestler because we have to have that control, and we also have to have that wrestling and fight ability. I think our wrestling is best for MMA for sure.
Oh no doubt. No doubt. We
too.
transfer the best.
I think that as well. Here's my take on wrestlers getting into MMA, and I've you see a few, and I've talked to like a few like high level wrestlers, and I've even seen them like train and fight. It's not all of them, but some of them don't really like getting hit or don't really like getting punched in the face. And I guess it's something you got to get used to.
Yeah, you're a weirdo if you like getting hit, Mike.
I'm a weirdo. I'm a fucking weirdo. I don't like it. I guess I don't mind it.
But you see a certain amount of timidity for sure.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, for sure.
Because most good wrestling power things are smooth. Like when you get in.
Oh, say that again, man. Say that again.
Yeah,
I like that smooth wrestling. Yeah.
My left hand is smooth.
When you hit a guy with really good technique, when you hit a guy with really good smooth, he don't feel shit. It just happens to him. Unless you end it with like a power slam or something like that.
Knockouts are like that all the time. Smooth.
Huh?
So my left hand is smooth.
No, but you're looking at the wrong way, and you do have a. Sorry, Michael's upset. We're talking about wrestling.
No, I love wrestling.
And you do have a smooth left hand, but it's one of those where whenever I take you down, I get on top, and you're like this. You're like, which way did he go? Which way did he go? What the hell?
I see. I do. You know what I mean? Good wrestling moves are good.
The thing about MMA, when you get taught something MMA, it hurts. You get taught, oh, you're too on the lead leg, bam, dude kicks you. Or your hands are too low, boom, it hurts. When you get taught a lesson in wrestling, unless they're mean on top, you just get given up points, 2, 3, unless you're giving up body slams. But for the most part, you're giving up a lot of things in MMA before you ever even get something back. So the wrestler usually is getting things and never getting hurt. When he got to it's not the same mix. So the timidity is like, oh shit, I can get kneed, I can get kicked while I'm doing.
So you think MMA is a harder sport?
It's a different sport. Harder, huh? Is MMA harder than wrestling? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no.
I don't think so either.
I'm gonna say no. You're in there grinding 6 days a week on a wrestling mat. No.
And I'm not on the level of you guys wrestling. I haven't been in a D1 wrestling. We were talking about it earlier. I would think college wrestling period is the #1 probably hardest.
I hesitated.
Next to swimming, I think swimming's a #2.
Why'd you hesitate, Greg? Why'd you hesitate though?
Well, I didn't hesitate for the answer. I hesitated as to how much degree, how much harder is it? And the more I sit here and ponder it, not the hardness, the difficulty kind of grows and it turns into a no-brainer for me. You have to remember too, there's nothing like it whenever you go to school in August, in the university. When you ever go to school in August, you start your preseason. The first week of school, second week of school, right around there somewhere. You start your preseason. That preseason runs you all the way to September, whenever you're allowed to start practicing with your team. First competition, so you got 2 months. First competition,
so you guys are year round.
The first weekend in November.
All the time.
And the national.
No way about it.
The national tournament is in March.
March.
Yeah.
So it's a long wrestling season.
Yeah.
And if you're at
You my first run stadium shit. I'll be watching.
Yeah,
videos.
man,
That's my
but
first
what's the
run.
thing, too?
Stadiums and
If you're at Division I level,
you're
there's
taking guys on recruiting visits and whatnot.
Yeah. Whew. But I lost my train of thought there.
I'll tell you why. I think that
Go ahead.
wrestling is better is a little bit more difficult. Even at the highest levels, right? When you punch a guy, if you got that type of punching power, you can just dominate a guy. You can start, wearing on certain things. Some guys, even at the highest level, don't have the same conditioning. There are way too many meters that you can have the advantage in and wear on that in wrestling and in MMA than you do in wrestling. Considering wrestling is you got a short period of time to get everything physically, intelligently, emotionally, all out right then and there. Whether something bad happens, you got to come back, or something good happens and you got to maintain that momentum. Whatever it is, I think the gap
3-minute round
of being able to do things differently are different or wider.
Why do you guys think it's the 3-2-2? Why do you think they do that?
I don't know.
That's just like weird. Like 3 minutes for the first. Is it because they don't want that much mat wrestling? Because the second and third don't start on the mat?
No, I don't know the answer to that question.
I don't know why there's a beard thing either. You can't have hair below.
Now you can. Now you can. Now you can. As of 2 years ago. But
they better.
I would
I'm
think.
not cutting my son's dreads.
I would think it evolved kind of like boxing did.
Yeah.
When boxing used to be an unlimited time, I would imagine wrestling probably started something like that. Not necessarily unlimited, but a long period of time. Maybe 1 10-minute period, maybe.
Yeah.
And then as they refine the sport, they cut the. That's what I don't know if any of this is true.
Speaking of boxing, bare knuckle boxing. Mike Perry and motherfucking Eddie Alvarez.
Shout out to that beast, man.
Of course, bro. That fight was crazy. Mike Perry.
For sure.
Is a motherfucking dog.
Bro, he's a
say it again,
street
Mike.
fighter.
Yeah, Mike Perry is a motherfucking dog.
And I'm glad he found something. I'm glad he found something.
The
to extend
thing
his
is,
career.
it's a huge street fight, and not people like they think it's like boxing. Like no, it's a full blown fight. It's a full blown street fight, and I think that's where Eddie. Which a good friend of mine, very tough, extremely tough.
That's not shit on my dog, man.
But I think that's where he went wrong.
He wanted to go box.
He came in with a boxing approach.
He was doing a mid session.
He came in with a boxing approach. He jabbed the shit out of him all day. But you got to think, man, it's bare knuckle jabs on Mike Perry. Eat them shits up all day, like, and then you get hit in your eye once.
For old school Masvidal techniques. He's getting glorified for what Masvidal did in the street. This is straight up Kimbo Slice.
That's what it is.
New era.
That's what it is. They commercialized it.
This is his way of grinding. Like no one's gonna street fight this dude. He would be the man in BKFC. He would be the man in Kimbo's league. He would be the man in Masvidal's league. This is his style of getting it as violent on the street as he is. He used to do this shit on the street.
I mean, shit, me too.
Real talk.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I should hit up Mike Perry. I was like, I should hit up Mike Perry and say, bro, I want to fight. That shit looks fun. Like, cause he's the king of violence, just screaming. I'm like, I should fucking scrap with Mike Perry.
Son,
but I'm like, say nah. I mean, they would have to pay me. They would have to pay me a good amount of money to be in there. My hands are fucked up. Your face gets fucked up.
Get your shit cut up.
Everything gets fucked up. That's why I can't. That's why.
What was? I didn't watch the fight. What was the size difference significant?
Yeah, Mike Perry was huge, bro.
See, that's another thing too.
Yeah.
He's big and he loves this.
The only weight that Eddie had on was like, I know I got to put on some weight. So
He's just
a little bit
trying to make himself big, right?
Right. He was soft.
I wouldn't say soft. I would just say like plump. Not he wasn't fat. He was in good shape.
No, he made himself slow. He made himself a little slow putting on that extra weight.
Yeah.
And like I said,
but shout out to him because he knew what it was.
Eddie's violent too. Eddie's violent
extremely
too.
violent.
And he's great at what he does.
3-minute round?
Yeah, I think it's a 2-minute round. Yeah, 2 3 minutes. He just took the wrong approach.
Wait, 2 or 3?
I think it's 2-minute rounds.
Oh, Eddie takes some time to get going too.
Yeah, and he takes time to get going, but he started fast.
But he didn't.
He started fast.
He came out. He came out and popped his ass.
He
a couple
started
times.
fast.
I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
he started real
shit.
fast. He looked good, but Mike Perry's big, bro. He fights. Like, look at the way he fight. Like, put the highlight
Maybe
on.
like in bare knuckle,
He
man.
fights, bro.
It's just like we talked before. It's physics, bro.
Yeah, and nobody understands,
Fucking
like,
big people throw harder.
but Luke fucking outweighed Mike Perry by a lot, I think, at that point. Luke was so much bigger than them. Yeah, when Luke and Mike Perry fought, but
Some people are. It takes a special person to do bare knuckle boxing.
bare knuckle boxing.
That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna
Yes,
leave it
Lord.
at that.
I'll tell you, it looks fucking very interesting and very fun.
I don't like it.
I mean, I
I
think
don't like it. It's too much of a
And the main-
spectacle for me. I don't like bare knuckle. I don't know.
It goes in my category of up there. There's that slap boxing.
It's
and
not quite slap,
there's
but
that slap league.
bro, that
And
is
then-
the funniest shit
and then
on
straight up
TV
bare knuckle.
at this point.
That shit's terrible, man.
It's the funniest
I
fucking
saw
thing.
some. These motherfuckers just sitting here watching these motherfuckers deliver
We
brain
care,
trauma
humans.
for each other for anything.
It's terrible.
Can you look up
But
slap salaries? What are they paying these people?
They get paid like $5,000 or like
See
for
what I'm saying?
maybe at the most 20. Maybe they're champs or something. But I think it's fucking hilarious. But it seems like a spoof. It seems like a real life
You watch it
spoof.
for the wrong reason. Yeah,
It feel like have you watched the show them in the house?
One of my boys is on it, and he's straight up a 55-pounder doing it at 70 because they asked him to do it. So I know he about to get his neck slapped.
I mean, they talk about how they train and they talk about how everything like they're like actually like fighters. Oh, I go in and fight this and that. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like,
Well,
that
some
shit.
of them are ex-fighters. Like my friend is an ex-fighter, so he's coming from a fight background, and now all I see is videos of him like with the
open
machine.
hand smacking the pad. Yeah, it's like,
I refuse to watch. I refuse to watch.
I can't watch it either.
So
I
what
can't watch it
happens?
either.
So what happens though? What happens if you and me have a slap?
see, I don't
If
know.
we have a slap,
I don't know how they pick who goes first. I think they coin
flip a
flip.
coin.
They flip a coin.
But if I go first and I smack the shit out of you, which I might just do for fun anyway.
Yeah,
But if I
right here.
smack the shit out of you, I knock you out. It's over.
If
right?
you knock me
Over.
out, if you knock me
It's
out,
over.
if you,
You
don't,
have no-
I
no
have like
redemption,
30,
no
I think I
nothing.
have 30 seconds to like get my shit together.
10 seconds. You got 10
No,
seconds.
no. If I
it's-
go down,
It says slight fat slaps last for 3 to 5 rounds. A striker has 60 seconds to
Yeah.
recover from a
Yeah,
hit.
they got a
and
lot
they
of time.
earn points based on how hard the slap
Points,
yeah.
lands.
So 60s.
The Power Slap League has more than
How the hell
30
they score
competitors,
points?
and the winner collects anywhere from 2,000
If they
to
don't,
10,000.
if they don't
That
go
ain't
down,
worth it, fam.
listen, I've seen them
Some of
like
the
some of them,
sound, they go by
don't go
sound.
down. Some of them don't go down, and they just fucking take that shit and like they don't like move.
I know that, but
That shit's crazy.
But I can knock the shit out of you, and you never even get a chance to go.
and
I
you're
don't like
done.
that shit.
And
That's
a lot
barely
of them,
competition.
and we talked about it. A lot of them cheat too, or maybe it's the
Yeah, they hit-
rules.
yeah,
a lot of them
yeah,
hit like
yeah.
the ear, and they hit like shots that'll
Like
knock you
cotton
out.
balls and shit.
Yeah, I think slap
the
league.
point.
No, I think it should be like a real slap. Like I need to get like a cheek. And my fingers need to actually smack. They're hitting. They're like open palm hitting each other.
Yeah, but how do you regulate that? Like that's
It's gotta
where
be
like, how do you
They got
area.
like 3 officials on each fighter like this.
I want to be one of the
And you
guys that
put-
catch him.
yeah.
put a-
Talking
you
about
put a
that. I want to be
headgear
one of the
on.
guys
You
that
put-
catch him, bro.
You put one of those karate headgears on that gets the backside, and you only keep the face, so you gotta really
Right?
get
Like
the
they
face.
give you some headgear, yeah. So,
But
like,
you're right. I feel
yeah.
like they're fucking with us, putting this shit on TV.
It's a spoof. It's the
I feel
funniest
like they're
shit.
fucking with us.
I fucking love it. It's
It
hilarious.
steals every headline.
Right? But
It just took 5 minutes of our fucking show.
yeah, and I'll talk about it every
You're
show.
right.
Yeah, I know. Like I'm not a fan of it. I just like this shit's funny.
Oh, you a fan? Fuck that. You know
Yeah,
that.
that's his exit plan, huh?
It's fucking hilarious. Look.
If
This
Perry
dude.
says-
this is
if-
dumb to
I'm
me.
glad you pulled up this dude. Oh,
If-
that wasn't the
If
one.
Perry
But
says
damn.
no, then he gonna slap league. every
I
year.
seen that. Look, the dude gets up and they call the fight. No, they call the fight. The first one he does because he busts his lip and he ripped this dude lip. This dude
Man,
shit was
if
hanging.
I'm a UFC official and this is what I do, there's no way I'm coming to officiate
this
this
dude
shit.
had the worst acne ever. It's the same commission we use.
I know it's the same referees. I know.
Eesh.
It's mind-boggling. I can't take these people serious. Whatever.
And we know for a fact that they're going to deal with CTE later in life. We know that. So why the fuck is this okay?
Hit me.
Look at this guy. I remember this. And the funniest thing is, like, you know, they get drug tested. Yeah,
I know that guy too.
they get drug tested and they fucking suspended one of them because coke came out of his system.
Yo, y'all
Like,
let me know when
and
y'all
he-
want somebody from the show, from that league on the show, and we'll get them on the show. I
Like
know a
he's
couple
getting,
people
like
that-
he's getting smacked, and of course he could have a coke. USADA don't even test for cocaine, and they're testing for.
If you tested for cocaine, you was on cocaine.
Yeah,
Like at that time.
yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah.
But like, it's like a 3 day, it's like a 2 or 3 day thing, bro. But like, how are you like suspending this dude because he's on coke? He's about to get smacked in his face.
Hell, you fuck. That's
Let
what
him-
makes me crazy about some MMA shit.
Give him
Also,
another line.
How do you
like,
get picked? How do you get picked for it?
drug test?
There's
Yeah, I think they
tryouts
test
shit.
them all.
No. I'm just saying, how do you get picked to become a
A slap fighter?
Yeah, slap fighter.
They all tried
There's
out.
a
I think they did.
tryout?
Well,
tryouts,
if you
yeah.
remember, prior to them launching too, there was some little shit like this going on, like little shows
Yeah.
and stuff
Okay,
like
okay,
that.
okay.
So
But
they
it's
went and
probably
got
some
him.
shit like at the local fire hall.
Yo, you're
You know what I mean? Instead of arm wrestling, they're
Yeah,
fucking
that's
slapping each
insane.
other. You know what I mean?
Something.
Dumb
It's
guy
like
shit.
a European type thing. I know they got them over there, like underground type shit. I'm like, man, no. Don't sign me up. Not finna
Hey, yo,
fucking
speaking
smack
of-
me.
Fuck all that shit. That Essentia making
Yeah,
me want
thank
some
you.
water, dog.
Yeah,
Shout out to your sponsor, Essentia, dog. Hey, that's a good
Essentia.
plug right there.
1 second.
Hey,
Yeah, it's a little plug, you know. It happens, you know. I do a little bit of good things, and I got some essential waters. I don't have to pay for water, which is like a
Amazing.
bonus.
That's amazing.
Bonus. I'll bring you some of these shits when they come in too. I love them.
yo,
The reason I love 'em is 'cause they're free.
By Essentia. Shout out to Essentia. Send me some water, dog.
Yeah, I'll try to get you plugged in for sure. We'll get them to sponsor the show. Nah, but they'll probably sponsor with water. Like,
Yeah, that's what we need. What are you talking about?
I want
That's
some
the
of those
source of
green.
life,
I
dog.
want some of those greenbacks. I got enough.
Yeah, you got that too.
I'll send you a few cases, bro.
Yeah, no, we want
Yeah,
that.
we're like,
Listen, we want that too, but we got to start somewhere. We're putting the seed down, letting them know, hey, y'all don't remember 3 years ago when we was balling? I mean, when we wasn't balling, and we put y'all on. Now we balling. Now it's gonna cost you, but because
Yeah.
y'all been grandfathered in, we're gonna give you the discount.
It'll get on. They're doing good. They got their little they got like the social media type team that they do. So I got to be like the first person to do like in the life of an athlete with Essentia. When I was in Arizona, I did it. So they follow my life or my day. Pablo got on there.
I'm just glad we're not talking about slapping
in the
anymore.
heart,
Till
in
you
the
brought
heart
it
of
up.
Chas Kelly, input some gay comment here. 'Cause
Nah, man. If he ain't here, he ain't here.
Was there a
I'm here, mother
reference?
trucker.
Was there a reference to make a gay guy?
Yeah, you said they followed you around day in the life, and then he would probably say some shit like, "Yeah, he followed you around getting."
If I'm in the bathroom.
I know, right?
But that is Chaz's humor. Shout out, Chas Kelly.
Yeah.
You never look so good, Chaz.
My guy, fresh and early. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Fellas, all right. Great show. Greg
Wanna wrap it
Jones.
up?
I really appreciate
I
you
like chopping it up with you, Bubba. What you got left?
standing in. Bubba ain't got nothing.
What's up, dog?
Yeah, what's up, dog? He wasn't even listening.
Yeah, over there playing Snapchat. No, that's dope. And this is a little nostalgic for me too, man. Me and Bubba haven't spent a lot of time together. Not a lot at all, actually, but obviously the wrestling community is really, really small. And I've admired Bubba from afar for a very long time. So it's just like we talked about on the previous
Insert
conversation.
Chas Skelly comment.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's good. It's good to talk with wrestling people, and it's good to talk. Good to talk with you too, Bubba, and also you.
Y'all thinking
man.
wrestling's
But-
taking over MMA? What y'all think about Bo Nickel?
I don't know yet.
Taking over.
I don't know
Come
yet.
out.
He
I don't know
had
yet.
He ain't had no tough one.
Hey, Time out. First thing I'm going to say, what you mean taking over? We've been racking up belts. Look at the NCAA guys and the belts that they have.
What NCAA got right now?
Man, there was a time when all the UFC
what
champions but
NCAA
one was wrestlers, man.
Yeah, but what? And there was a time where none of them were champions. What NCAA champion?
Do you really?
What NCAA champion is a champ right now?
This is what we need. We need the white
relatively.
boys to check the stats. Go the white boys, the producer. We need him to come back in.
His name is Ben.
Ben,
not the white boy. And your finger look like it stinks. Stop putting them smelly ass fingers in the camera.
How many wrestling UFC champions?
No, he said now.
I'm saying in MMA history. Son,
history. Oh, of course. There's wrestlers all over that got titles.
NCAA
but I mean
guys.
now.
I would say
because it's a strikers.
Everyone talks about MMA being young and the evolution of MMA. I would counter that argument by saying I don't know that the sport itself, 1-2s worked 20 years ago, 1-2s worked right now. I would say the type of athlete that are entering MMA has evolved.
Changed. Well, no, they're athletes, not fighters.
More than the sport.
When I first got into the game, it was fighters, very few athletes.
Right, it was
very few athletes.
Fighters, right.
That's where I got my advantage. I was an athlete, so I could do a lot of shit. I could beat people like in fights that I was a lot faster than them. I could get out of shit because of my athleticism. Yep. Now there's
that's why your wrestling's good too, by the way.
This is actually a pretty cool thing. I've never seen this before. I'll show you guys. It's a little chart, and it shows you the UFC champions.
Oh,
okay. Hey, Bubba, this fool had the nerve to ask, is wrestling going to take over MMA? Do you see this graph, dog?
No, I didn't say, is it?
Graphic? And I just thought it was funny that I named it the white boys.
So in 2018, we had 28 wrestling champion, 17 jiu-jitsu, and then 12 boxing. Then
but did he say it's a strikers league? Is that what he said?
I said it's a strikers league now with the champs. As the champions.
Why is it that there's very few little bit of wrestling? Like you either have really dominant wrestling or you have a stand-up fight.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't know why motherfuckers like to wrestle me all the time. Every fight I watch, I'm like, these motherfuckers did wrestle once.
What do you mean?
I could win. I wish I had a stand-up fight, right? Like, damn. No. Some fights go just on their feet, and some fights where it's heavy wrestling. There's not a lot of in between.
Right.
Like a lot of people don't really mix it up as much as
that's
what you're saying.
That's what I feel like. Yeah, it's never like.
I think because it's so one-sided in our check bonus.
And it's hard.
What happened?
It's hard.
It's fucking hard to fucking wrestle for 15 minutes.
But
no, I think you're right, Bubba, too. I think that's part of it, too.
But also the fact that once you find your advantage on the person, you just stick to that. Right. So if you start bopping a dude up, why am I going to go try to give this guy a chance?
No, that's good. That's a very good point. That's a very good point.
And then once I'm wrestling the guy, why am I going to get a chance to knock me out once I've already dominated him?
No, that's
and I'm gonna get both sides of my check if I do one thing I'm already good at.
Yeah, we're gonna start making people wrestle. I'm gonna start making people wrestle.
I told you, all you gotta do is just whisper for me to wrestle, and I'll start fucking wrestling. Like just tell me, because I forget. All of my fights, I'm like, damn, I was supposed to wrestle this fight.
You be throwing them things, man.
Tell me to wrestle. His leg is right here. Like I took it down. I gotta be told this. I forget. You know I'm forgetful, bro. I get the fight. Wait a minute, fuck. I wasn't supposed to do shit. Like it's crazy. I got a great memory, but I'm forgetful. Does that make sense?
Oh no, man.
I got good memory, but I'm forgetful.
It does make sense in some kind of weird way. Probably just because I know you.
That's that weed.
Well, I wanted to say, Jones don't know that when I was coming up in wrestling, my coach made me watch him as I was in high school, and he was basically telling me, if you're going this your way out the hood, pretty much, so you might want to, look at some of these really good wrestlers. And he had video on top of video of a lot of your highlights. So, when you
that
say
was hard to do back then too.
Moment,
it was hard.
What did you say?
It was hard to find those videos back then too.
Oh yeah, he was a guru. Like,
you talking about J-Rock? Who you talking about?
No, Corey Williams.
Oh, okay.
He's actually Pharrell Williams' first cousin, but
word.
Corey Williams was also Brian Stiff's cousin. Not cousin, but Brian Stiff's coach that brought us up. We both came under Corey Williams.
Yeah, you came up with Stiff of Virginia Beach, right?
Yeah. I'm out of there. I'm out of that tutelage and that camp. You know, we was
Bad
we was
news.
That's
just
where you
young
from,
brothers.
Virginia
Bad news,
Beach?
Virginia.
Yeah, Virginia got some
news.
Bad news.
knuckleheads.
But,
Michael Vick, Allen Iverson, all that was those are the crew we ran
Dogs.
with. Percy Harvin, all that.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah, man, shout out to you.
Nah, for sure. I appreciate you sharing that, my man. I appreciate it for sure.
Grind it out.
Great.
Wonderful fucking show, gentlemen.
Wonderful
And,
show. I'm pretty
sure
sure Chas Skelly, last thing I'm going to say, I'm pretty sure Chas Skelly just lost his job.
No, he's white privilege.
Okay.
We got him.
He grandfathered in.
Yeah. What's it called? He was an affirmative action hire. We had to have
We
that.
had to balance it out.
Yeah, we had to balance it out, so we needed it.
We knew we'd not be successful without Cali, without the white fans.
That's what we needed for that. Who are these two black brothers? We don't want to hear these guys.
Mike, come on. Hey, I don't know if you know this too or not, Bubba, but Michael's like a black dude from the civil rights era, dog. This dude angry, man, all the time.
I ain't angry.
But let's shut this shit down, man. We've been
just a
rambling.
realist. I'm just a realist, you know.
Nah, I call him Malcolm.
Malcolm.
Yeah.
Malcolm.
Like a little French bulldog.
By any means. Yeah, right. Well, everybody.
No, I thought y'all was gonna give me more like harder questions about me making that business move, and
I was gonna fuck with you.
It was just conversation.
I mean, you ain't here. I was gonna fuck with you. You still want me to because you brought it back up.
That's your game.
You still want me to because you brought it back up. I let you off easy.
For 10 minutes.
I let him off
How much
easy.
more you got?
He asked if he said we was gonna fuck with him. Like you super bad.
Hey, Bubba, send me one of those shirts, dog.
I got you, dog.
I'm gonna Photoshop. I'm gonna Photoshop. I'm gonna photo. Yeah, he ain't shit. You know that.
I know.
I'm
I'm
gonna photo
standing
myself.
right here.
What's that in the middle too? That's
Look,
perfect.
You got double.
Oh my dog.
Double three
We'll
pros
put the
in a
light
pod.
skin right in the middle, and we'll put that bitch on Amazon. We'll sell the hell out
I'll
of
get
that.
you one and we'll edit
You
it
ain't
for
getting
you.
no money.
Yeah, I ain't messing with
You ain't
Mike.
getting no money. That's fine. I got nothing for you. You got to pay for these.
I don't blame you. Business is business.
Yeah,
Staying on business.
Yeah, right. Everyone, thank you for listening to the show. We had a great episode. Greg Jones, thank you for filling in for Chaz. Bubba, Batman Jenkins, appreciate you as always. Batman Tings.
They say standing on business. When I stand on business, they financially punish me. It is what it is. Batman Tings, all 2023, bitch.
Her.
Holla, let me know if you need something, man.
Thank you to our sponsors, Impact Dental Designs, Get Biofuel, Face Meets Fists. How's it going? It's a nice little t-shirt. Get to their website. The merch will be on the website soon. Keep an eye out for it. See you guys next week.
Batman in this bitch, new hair, new whip, big wheels, no grip, new glare, don't trip, big flare, new brick. They stop and stare because they piss. My drip is rare and often sick. I'm smart as shit.